Welcome to Kenyan Doctors. My name is Dr. Luciana. Today I want to talk about jaundice. Jaundice in babies. Now let me tell you a short story. There was this young mother who came to my clinic a while back, and her only complaint was that the baby is not feeding well. This was a baby within the first week of life, and he was not breastfeeding well. And as she was talking, I had noticed that the baby was yellow. And I remarked to the mother, "Your baby looks yellow." And she beamed with excitement. She was so happy because she thought a yellow baby looks beautiful. It was a beautiful baby. And sure enough, it was a beautiful baby, but jaundice is a killer. I started telling her about jaundice. Now let me tell you about jaundice. Jaundice is a yellow color that you see in the eyes of a baby, the tongue, or even the skin. And jaundice is caused by a pigment called bilirubin. Now, what is bilirubin? Now, the red blood cells, once they are broken down after their lifespan, they release a product called bilirubin. Bilirubin is yellow in color, and the liver normally handles it. But in a little baby, especially those that are born prematurely, the bilirubin is so much the liver is not able to handle it. So it accumulates in the body. And that is not the problem. The problem is that it goes into the brain and causes damage, sometimes irreversible damage. You will find that a baby has been born, got jaundice, and then they don't acquire their milestones as expected. They don't sit when they are expected. They don't walk when they are expected to. They don't talk when they are expected to. In other words, they get delayed milestones because of the damage that was caused to the brain by the bilirubin. So how do we handle the jaundice? When the jaundice is very slight, exposing a baby to natural sunlight is enough. To expose a baby to sunlight, you need to expose as much skin as possible. So let this baby be just in diapers, maybe a vest, but the legs fully exposed, the hands fully exposed. The only thing we need to take care of are the eyes. Cover the eyes from direct sunlight. If the jaundice is a bit higher than that, then the baby needs to go to hospital, and they are put under a special light that we call phototherapy. Now, phototherapy helps to break down the excess bilirubin. Once in a while, even phototherapy will not work, and they need to have what we call an exchange transfusion. In other words, you pour out the baby's yellow blood and push in some normal red blood. By the time a doctor decides to do an exchange transfusion, it's because that baby's damage will be so severe they can even die, or they'll never make it beyond development of 1 year. In other words, you'll have a baby that is growing in terms of size, in terms of age, but their mental capacity, you remain at 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They'll remain a baby all their lives. Sometimes when you advise mothers to have blood exchange transfusion or to have phototherapy, they don't think you are serious because the baby is just looking fine. The baby is beautiful. And that baby grows, that baby jumps around like normal babies, but that baby will never realize their real potential. This baby will have some mental slowness. The mother, you think it is hereditary. They'll ascribe it to slow growth from any other source, but it is actually brain damage because of jaundice, because of bilirubin. Let me give a word of caution here. If you notice that your baby is turning yellow, don't just decide to expose sunlight. Go to hospital. Let the blood be tested for bilirubin, because the levels are the ones that will determine whether this baby needs just sunlight or phototherapy or exchange transfusion. Please go to hospital if you want your baby to grow and realize its full potential. Jaundice is damaging. Please don't take any chances. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. See you next week.